Hey Joyce.
Hi, it works.
Yeah, good job. And I'm glad the audio's clear and it's not
Yeah,
like
I know how much that annoys you. I'm
it
sorry.
does. I was like,
Other people were fine with it, but not good enough for Aaron.
so Joyce was teaching Sunday school this morning and she has notoriously bad audio on her laptop. And she said, "Oh, I think it's fine." And then I said,
I was using a different microphone today too.
"So
I like set up,
you like
yeah, I
tried?"
set up, I did. I used like a professional grade microphone, but I think is because my laptop buzzes and
Yeah.
that's what you were hearing. So I'm
Well,
sorry.
it's okay. I'm just glad that you fixed it. So I appreciate you for fixing it. Now I was able to pay attention in Sunday school, and you did great. We'll talk
Thanks.
about that later, though. Yeah. How are you doing, Joyce, during lockdown, coronavirus, everything? What's going on in your life?
I'm doing good. I actually finished work last week, so
Yeah.
I had 1 week of summer break.
Mm,
So
nice.
yeah, I work at a school as an occupational therapist, so I'm on summer break now. And yeah, I've been really grateful because I work as a contract worker, and um, with contract employment at schools, I've heard that a lot of other therapists didn't get to work after the school shut down. So the fact that I work at a school and I was still able to work, and also the fact that I'm contract and able to still work was really um, a blessing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been
Yeah.
really grateful for that.
What did you do during your break or your week off?
Um, I mean, I guess I've been wedding planning, and so John and I, my fiance and I, are trying to fix up his house before we move in. So we've actually been meeting with like a lot of contractors and trying to figure out like house things.
Yeah.
So that's been keeping me busy.
Let's talk about this. How is wedding planning, getting ready to live together, moving into a place? How is that? How is that going during this crisis,
Um,
this global pandemic?
yeah, well, it definitely changes things. So, like everything that I had been planning before, like obviously got changed to now we're having like a small family ceremony. I think we're gonna have like the best man maid of honor there, but other than that, like just family and whoever is like helping. Um, but yeah, like it's pretty crazy how everything just all of a sudden changed. And I
Yeah.
think it's weird because I'm getting married at the end of July. And it's like in that weird, like in between phase of like, I don't really know what things are going to look like. It's going to be like a lot better by then or a lot worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of uncertainty
Mm.
with that kind of stuff. But it's also nice because it kind of makes you focus on like what's actually important and like what the marriage ceremony is all about.
Mm.
So,
You know
yeah.
that's a really mature answer. Did you always feel this way?
I mean, there's definitely like ups and downs. I think it comes in like waves. I think at one, like sometimes I think that I'm really like content and like happy and like just glad and excited to get married. But then other times I do think like, oh man, I'm not gonna like have, I don't know, like a big reception. I'm not gonna have like maybe not have live music at my wedding.
Mm.
I'm not gonna have like my whole wedding party there and do like all the wedding party things. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a little bit of sadness in it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Okay, we'll revisit this too. We'll revisit this too a little later.
okay.
Um, but let's talk about online ministry really quick. Um, what are you doing online these days? I know that we did Sunday school, but that's not the only thing that you're doing, right?
Yeah. I'm doing Unikoi online. So we're doing youth ministry online on Friday nights. So we still have like the large group gathering with the sermon, and then afterwards we break off into small groups. So still doing that. And then I guess I'm helping with worship, playing Cajon.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Okay, let's break this down.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with worship first, since you mentioned that. Um, how do you like playing Cajon to a video and then being recorded and seeing yourself on there on Sundays?
It's weird. It's really different. Because I think, like, when you're playing with other people live, you kind of feed off of the energy in the room and you feed off of, like, what everyone else is doing musically, especially for, like, dynamics and, like, yeah, just, like, the overall, like, musicality of it all. I think
Yeah.
it's hard because when I'm playing Cajon, I'm only playing to one person's recording. Um, and they give directions like, oh, this is what's going to happen like at the next verse. This is where we're going to like get louder, get softer. But it's definitely different and harder
And
to play.
I mean, it sounds good. How do you like watching yourself on Sunday mornings?
I don't like it. It's so weird.
I mean, it's not like you're like the big one in the middle, you're kind of like at the
Yeah.
side. Yeah. But I
Yeah,
don't know,
but
I
it's
think it's
just,
cool. I think it's
yeah, it is
cool.
cool. I
I
like
think
watching other people.
I mean, you know me, definitely percussion is a great addition to any worship set. So I'm thankful that you do that and that you put yourself out there for everybody to see. Can you
Yeah.
talk about you said Friday night ministry, right? You're still doing
Hmm.
Unicoi. How is that? How is running a high school small group or whatever Friday night fellowship online?
Um, I mean, I think that it's definitely different. It's definitely nicer to be in person because I think it's the same thing. Like you feed off of the energy of like the people in the room and it's more casual. People don't mute themselves and then unmute themselves.
Yeah.
And then in the beginning, it was like harder to like figure out a rhythm, I guess, between the group. And just like even like having people show up like on camera versus like not on camera.
Yeah.
So there's all of that to deal with. And then like every once in a while the room will run out of time and then we have to leave and then come back. So technical difficulties.
What do you guys do?
Um,
Okay, yeah.
what?
No, no, no.
Um, but yeah, I'm still really grateful though that we can meet online and like I think we've definitely like gotten a lot more used to the online platform and we're
Hmm.
able to still have like conversations, still pray for each other. So I'm definitely grateful for the fact that we can still meet online.
Yeah, and I mentioned this in Sunday school. I'm just thankful that people still show up to these online ministry type of things. You taught Sunday school this morning. You had a good lesson. How is teaching Sunday school online? And then I also want to ask you, you talked about like hashtag Black Lives Matter and like being on Instagram and stuff, but you don't even have Instagram. So I want to ask you like how is it like talking about an issue where you're not even like really participating in it? You can start with teaching online first.
Okay. Well, teaching online, I think I'm less nervous teaching online than in person,
Hmm.
because I have like my notes in front of me and um, I don't know, it just feels different, like not as nerve-wracking as teaching in person. But I do definitely miss like the back and forth between the teachers and the students. Um, Online, I feel like you do have to try harder to engage the students since everyone's just like at home. It's Sunday morning. Um, so that's definitely different, and I miss that. Um, but yeah, I taught on hashtag Black Lives Matter, and I mean I still have Facebook, so I still
Oh,
see
right.
things.
Right,
I
right.
still see posts, and I kind of have an idea of what's going on. But yeah, I'm not really like in the thick of it as other people are because I don't have that much social media.
Hmm.
But I did hear like from the youth and from other counselors like how people are reacting to everything and what people think. So I was kind of building off of what I've heard and discussed with other people
I see.
to try and, yeah, address what's going on.
Yeah, and I think you did good. Felicia did a great job last week. You did a good job this week. I think these current event issues are like really important, and it's good that we can talk about it, especially from the lens of the Bible and what God has to say about it. So thanks for doing it and taking on such a tough subject.
Yeah.
We had a question. What's your favorite Bible verse?
My favorite Bible verse is Philippians 4:11 to 12.
Okay. Do you want to read that for us?
Yeah, I will read it. I have it in front of me. So this is the verse. Not that I am
Nice.
speaking of being in need, for I have learned in whatever situation I am to be content. I know how to be brought low, and I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance and need.
And why is that your favorite verse?
I think that this is my favorite verse because it's just a verse that has been with me ever since I was pretty young. I think I first discovered it when I was in like middle school. Um, and back then, I think I was more thinking in terms of like, I want these things, these like objects, like toys or whatever, and I didn't have them. And then this verse was like, oh, like I don't need to have like things in order to be content, in order to be happy because I have Jesus. And then over the years, it kind of just like matured and was applied to all these different circumstances in my life, like in college, like thinking about like career, community, deeper things in life. And it's still a verse that is just like so encouraging and relevant to think that in whatever circumstance, whatever I have or whatever I don't have, like I know how to be content and how to face these things because Jesus is the same in all circumstances. And that's really all I need. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. I told you we would come back to this. So do you have any final words of encouragement, maybe for people that are wedding planning during this time, or how you kind of had a different perspective on it, or just any encouragement for young adults in general during this crisis, with jobs or with living at home, anything you'd like to say?
Yeah. I guess I would encourage people to remember that in all circumstances, God is still in control and God has his purposes for everything that takes place in my life and in the world. Um, and he also tells us to not be anxious about anything, but to just bring everything to him and rejoice in him in every circumstance. So I would encourage people to remember God's faithfulness and God's goodness to them, no matter what's going on in your life. Like God is still the same good father that he was like in the good circumstances and in the bad circumstances. And he is someone that we can find our ultimate joy and hope in. And that's something that doesn't change based on our circumstances.
That's so good. Thanks, Joyce. Thanks for sharing that with us, and thanks for joining me on this call.
Thanks. Happy Father's Day.
Thanks. I'm excited for what's next, what's coming next in your life. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks.
Bye, Joyce. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.